Hi kids, it's Bunny with another junk journal, and this one I meant to finish and list before Christmas, but due to various things like illness I didn't get around to it, so I'm doing it now. And it's a winter journal, and has a picture of a girl and her dog and some nice fringe and pretty blue cloth cover. It's hardcover, and we have a little brooch here. It's not vintage. It looks vintage, but it's not. A little mirrored brooch, and we're all in a silk sash that holds it all together. So, looking inside, I know we're all longing for spring, but winter does have its beautiful moments. We should enjoy those while we see them. Inside the front cover is a sparkly pocket in which there is a vintage photograph and a pretty tag, blank on the back, so you can journal on the back. Here's an itty bitty teeny weeny envelope, and inside of that I believe are some foreign stamps, foreign vintage stamps. And there is a little note from me about the journal and how you might be able to use it. And inside this first pocket we have a journaling card, which all of them are blank on the back, so you can write on them. Here's a piece of a genuine, authentic vintage ephemera, a coupon good for aluminum ware, and there's a bigger envelope than the other one, and inside of it are some bigger foreign vintage stamps. Very interesting designs on them. The pages are coffee dyed, and we have doily and vintage ledger paper. Have various clusters of several various kinds throughout. Here is vintage sheet music, somehow. Put a little sparkle on it. And a lot of the pages have lace on the edge. And this is some handmade paper. I did not make it, but it's pretty. It has blue flowers in it. This is from a vintage book, some advertising, and it's a vintage photograph, and just a little tiny tag. And here's a vintage Valentine's from Jim or Tim L. to Celeste. Well, wonder what happened to that. Star-crossed. Those star-crossed lovers. I can't talk today. Anyway, here's some vintage wallpaper. A square coffee-dyed doily. Get in there. There we go. This is a pocket with a journaling card and a teeny weeny envelope that has some stamps inside of it. Here's a vintage hotel registration slip. And this pocket unfolds so that you can have extra space for writing. And it folds right back up, easy peasy. More wallpaper. This side pocket is vintage sledding photograph and more vintage ephemera. National Carbon Company. Advertising some trains. And here is a little miniature journal with little pages. Maybe jot an idea down on it. In this pocket or tuck was another pretty journaling card and a tag, and in this tag I have tucked a gold dipped feather, which you can pull out and use for something if you like. Everything's falling out. In this tuck, there's another vintage photograph and some vintage trading stamps. This is piano roll paper, vintage. And here's a page from a vintage book. In this little bag is another vintage photograph. All of them are winter themed, of course. Here's some more vintage sheet music. The Anniversary Waltz. This is more handmade paper. Excuse me. This is coffee dyed vellum paper. Very crackly. And in this side pocket there's a pretty journaling card, another little tiny tag, and a vintage postcard. And looks like if you go to this gel they might dunk you in some water. I don't think they do that anymore. I hope not. They used to do some strange things. Here is another pretty envelope with vintage foreign stamps inside. More vellum. Journaling card, and here is like a paper hat that someone used to wear at the Pet Dairy Corporation. And here's another bag with another vintage winter photograph. More piano roll. This is a piece of sari embroidered ribbon from India. I just thought it was pretty. You can take it out and use it for something. It's just clipped in. And more pretty things. And another small envelope. Handmade paper. This is vintage wallpaper. And here's some coffee dyed square doily, which I've made into a pocket, and it has another tag with a gold dipped feather, and it has a vintage letter. Inside you can read the letter, if you can read handwriting. I forgot. 1929. It's from 1929. And this is a floating pocket, which you can take off. It's just clipped in. And it has a journaling card in it. And you can unfold it for extra journaling space as well. Pardon my trembling. I do have a trimmer. Gee, I must be old, huh? And here's some more vintage paper. Another vintage winter photograph. And a pretty tag. Here's another doily pocket with a little a vintage mini cookbook for using buttermilk. More wallpaper. And here's another pretty tag, another winter photograph. More handmade paper, vellum. Here is some vintage ephemera. It's a label from a box of wine, I believe. A box containing bottles of wine. Not a box wine. More piano roll. There's another pretty journaling card and tag. And here's another one of those pockets that unfolds. Whoops. I think I knocked the sequin off. And it unfolds. And another vintage snow photo. A vintage receipt from a cigar manufacturer. And piano roll, sheet music. Here is general instructions for infant care. It's a vintage ephemera. I'm not sure what it came with or in. And here's another pocket with a gold-tipped feather and real Brussels lace advertisement, vintage. And we come to the back, inside back cover. We have another tag, another teeny tiny envelope, and another small notebook for you to jot ideas down in, and a vintage advertisement for liquid tar soap. Yummy, yummy. And that's it. That's the winter journal for 2024. And I hope you enjoy it. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.